So everybody, it's Amonra here. Welcome back to another one of Breaking YouTube. So you guys' day is going good. In today's video, as you guys can see, it is going to be the same thing like always on this plan. It's not going to be nothing different. But from the kids that title, you know what I'm talking about. Another YouTube boxer as well. But with this as well, I'm going to be talking about other people that play a part to me instead of just YouTube boxing, even though I don't want you to factor me talking about a YouTube boxer in this scenario. I hope you guys enjoyed as always. Never know what you're different to really say. I love y'all. It's only a pop.
Actually, I do. Would you get a glue? Coming in my room. Girl, you better move. Eating on the scene. Me looking clean. Me like the beat.
This YouTube boxer is Gib, or a person that kind of was resonating with doing YouTube boxing in his own right. But for now, from what we know, is still training, or might maybe just stop for a good minute. I don't know if he's participating in the UK versus USA YouTuber boxing thing. Hope he does. I think he'll do good. I mean, he floored Taylor Holder. Taylor Holder had a nerve to go and say they won when he cracked him for 5 rounds. He bested him. And if they ever would go actual bare knuckles, he would get bought too. Because the only reason why he was safer was a little bit of case of the bell and the fact that man can take a punch. Respect to him getting into the ring, but in the words of Gib, respect deserts as soon as he claims that he won the fight. That's a straight fucking cap. He got bonged. He was getting bonged like I was saying he was getting bonged against Balrog right now. He was not doing shit. He got wrecked. Alright. He did something considerably, but overarchingly, Gib is way better. He's a way better fighter. He's a way better characteristic of boxing as a YouTuber because he actually was doing something and he was actually making something count with it. And just because Taylor Holder isn't in the same reign as YouTube boxing and a legacy as Gib doesn't take away the factor that he can be good, even though Taylor Holder is not good of a boxer like Gib, which is why he lost in my opinion. Even though it's factual that he lost because he declined the factor that he lost within Gib in this scenario and he got the win. So that's interesting. But just the fact that Taylor Holder even called that is just straight bullshit in my opinion. Like, how you gonna call that shit when you obviously lost? A straight plummeted cap. He's getting bonked. It doesn't make no sense to me. Especially that combination when Gib went with the right to the liver and left hook to the face. Clean, bro. Just straight clean solid shots to the body, to everything. He had power, he had stamina, he had the efficiency, and Taylor just could not keep up. There's no way he was doing anything good in this scenario. He was not racking up any matter for what Gib was doing in that scenario. That's pretty much all I have to say about Gib. I think overall his personality is pretty cool. He's cool with the Sidemen, KSI. That's not much I have to really say about him. But the funny thing is that last time he uploaded was, let me see, right here, 7 months ago, when he just showed Gib versus Taylor Holder full fight. That's it. The same case with his thoughts after Gib versus Taylor Holder. Interesting. So everything's been YouTube boxing. Say he took a break, but also know that's a break from YouTube boxing as a whole because he's trying to do his thing. So we'll see what that comes into play later on. But that's all I have to say for Gib, like I said before. Moving on to the next YouTuber though. Action Jackson is pretty cool to me. I think he's interesting. He's funny most of a lot of the time. I think he's the most annoyingly funny, but how he makes roasts and talks about things with his funny antic like attitude is pretty cool. I think he's funny. Check him out, I guess. Like, I don't have much to say about him because I don't think most people would. I don't think he's better than that. Like, I don't want this to come off as like a negative thing. Is that he's cool, he's funny, interesting. He puts things out that are pretty interesting in the case for how he talks about things. And when he talks about things that kind of educates you and makes a funny, positive thing on it, it's pretty interesting. How I found him, I don't really know how. I was just trying to laugh and he came up, so pretty much it. So I have to say about Action Jackson. Moving on to the next one. At the Prison Show, it's a pretty interesting channel. I came across it when I was trying to learn more about prison. I don't actually know why. Like, I found him like when I was very younger back. I think when I was in elementary, it was a big longer time because obviously I'm 15. I'm a freshman in high school, and a little bit of some of y'all were around with me between those scopes and time. Because when I left YouTube, I was around that place and time a little bit, so y'all can kind of understand if y'all at least day ones, which I wouldn't imagine every person that watches this is, knows that that's a long time, obviously, even not knowing me. But the said matter for why, I guess I just want to learn about prison because I was intrigued, and also because if I ever would go to prison, I don't want to, but you never know on the dead homies. It's kind of weird saying what this that ain't need to be said. Whatever, I'm not gonna edit out. But on the real, like if anytime I would go, because you never know where the same matter of time point may be, it can be very interesting and curiously educational to know what is a possibility how prison might be like. So I just watched this shit. This shit was interesting. Watched about the myths videos, top items you need in prison if you go to prison. He was just interesting. He still kind of is. But I understand that his channel isn't the most antique because of the state of America, because he just got out of prison, not recently, but whether he went to prison for, I forgot what it was, because that video was a very long thing to get through. But from what I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, he went to prison for having something, and for not how it tear away his life, and was when he was very much more younger. So that's why I was thinking of it in this form. And the reason why he made his channel is because it was interesting because you could talk about prison in kind of like a good way. And since the same matter for him just getting out of prison and trying to make something else of his life, you feel what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I don't know everything about him. He just seemed curious to me, and he seemed like a better, more informed dude. And I don't think just because you go to prison that places you as a bad person necessarily. You could have been a bad person in the past. You couldn't have been not the best person, and maybe you're not the best person even coming out of jail. Maybe you just reform yourself. Because getting out of jail don't make you better necessarily from all the accounts of people coming out of prison, because there's a good majority as an American in the Western world in North America, people who come out of prison sometimes do be worse than how they were coming from prison into prison as well, if that makes sense. Guys, somebody hold a retract, because I think most of you guys what I'm saying is still like from coming from prison and in prison, because they're coming in from prison, because they come from prison in prison, and then that correlates to something else. Yeah, that made sense. It's kind of seemed a little bit weird. To stay on track and not go on a tangent, all I'm saying, he's somebody cool person. You said matter possibly a lot of different pitch of people from prison are not the best people. You know what I'm saying? And some people come out more radical than how they were coming to prison. You know what I'm saying? That's all I have to say about him. I understand I don't want to talk about prison because it's kind of hard to get that out of your head and you want to be more positive. I wish him the best with this stuff. I still fuck with his content. I still take a listen into him. And that's really all I have to say about it. So I don't really have that much else in a big pop sense say in the case of matter for how he's like in his place of being and etc. I just think we're at a place where he goes with his channel. I hope him the best with it. You know what I'm saying? Going on to the next one though. Last YouTuber is Master Assassin. I just found this stuff technically recently. I'm trying to get more into Assassin's Creed as I never was super involved into it, but obviously how much my love is for Assassin's Creed 3 and the rest of that resonates with the series. Obviously you guys can tell that I want to spam my more love, and the next game I plan to play is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and I think I might go ahead and buy a game today. I don't think it's going to be Assassin's Creed because I want to dive my head to something else. I want to have Assassin's Creed right after I finish a game of Assassin's Creed. I can do it right after this, but obviously, you know, I want to diverse my content, and this other game is a game I've been looking forward to. You'll see when it comes. I hope you guys will enjoy that walkthrough as well. It's going to be a very interesting walkthrough, and I'm trying to savor the best out of it. I got so many different plans after finishing it, especially a versus battle. But that's besides the point. Really, Master Assassin is cool. Talks about Ubisoft stuff. Watches videos about Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, other stuff. I like his name. I like his critiques. I like his point of view. And he's a person in the Assassin's Creed community that I fuck with, you know. You ever sees this, keep making a better content, man. Love your stuff, and I like that you indulge me into Assassin's Creed. So now I don't watch his channel super. I'll probably get more in depth with it because I don't want spoilers to anything that I'm doing involving Assassin's Creed, since I have not played all the Assassin's Creed games, because Assassin's Creed never super intricately interests me, and I know there's multiple different games out, and I wanted to find one that got me into it, and Assassin's Creed 3 did. because my game that I wanted to go ahead and play involving the cinematic for Assassin's Creed was Assassin's Creed Origins, since I really love ancient Egypt and the character of Bayek intrigued me. But the place that intrigued me the most with Assassin's Creed by cinematic for the sketch place of where it's in is obviously the American Revolution, and obviously you got Connor Kenway in the recording tearing for the Great British and the Revolutionary War. That intrigued me, so I want to play that first. Also, it sounded from different accounts of different people as the baddest game, the most underrated. I want to give my opinion. It was a controversial game, and I like controversial stuff, and I want to like spread my opinion on that stuff, so I wanted to play it. I already spread my opinion. Y'all know what it is already. And so with that to be proclaimed, that is why my case of idea is in this format. You know what I'm saying? So that is why in Pacific, my case of thinking is like the way it is from this technical feel, you know. And that's pretty much it for Master Assassin. I just like her stuff. I like her for preaching this stuff to me. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Tell me what you guys think. Love y'all. Peace, Amonra.